What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. After a day of what did he play? Vanguard? I guess Vanguard and Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's right. Your boy Doody didn't check out too much of that content because, of course, he was busy with real life. By the way, just to let everyone know, my video outputs will be increasing, plus my streams will be increasing probably next week, in the next 2 weeks. Just been busy with real life, taking care of, real life stuff. So I haven't had that much time to dip my toe in the vortex. So my apologies, but the content will be flowing, and of course, streams will be back. My goal, of course, is to stream 2 or 3 times a week and just hang out with the people. So let's see what Phil had to say on the Daily Wrap.
Good evening, everybody. Phil here. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Tuesday, I get confused sometimes, the 12th of November, 2024. A very streaming day. Today was a full day of gameplay, and we had a good amount of topics to talk about over the podcast, so let's, talk, shall we? So, today started off with the Level 1 podcast, where I kind of talked a little bit about my experience playing Bloodborne on the PS5 Pro the night before. We also talked about, the retirement of my React content, the fact that it doesn't exist anymore, which is a good thing, honestly, because now we can focus on gameplay for the next several weeks. We talked about Christmas, treats and stuff that my mom used to make. It was a good variety show. There was not like one topic that we honed in on the whole show. It was more kind of an open show talking about a variety of stuff. No major things to do a highlight of or anything like that. But instead just kind of a chill vibe. So if you want that kind of a show, check it out. It's already live on the channel.
All right, so I'm going to, of course, translate the pignosis, the pygmies. What Phil is trying to say here is that he had nothing to talk about. There was no real drama, nothing was happening, and he was just doing the podcast to do the podcast. And the interesting thing, of course, is that he ran long. Why did he run long? Why did he run long the podcast when he had nothing to talk about? Well, of course, support. That's right, support. He wanted to make sure that he milked the podcast for as much support as he could before playing Vanguard, because he was concerned that with just like with most RPGs, no one cares. No one really comes out. No one cares. And he was kind of accurate there. I gotta give Phil credit on that one. It is true. It seems like no one wants to watch him play RPGs. And it could be because he doesn't play the game right. I mean, he sucks at play. He tries to fucking find the easiest way through the games. Anything that's remotely complex, any puzzles or whatever that are complex, he just doesn't want to do them. He bitches and complains about the game. He just takes away the fun of actually playing the fucking game. So then he wonders why no one cares for his playthroughs, or no one supports, or what have you. And when you're playing any game, part of playing a game is actually like hyping up the game. Like, you got to make it hype. You got to make it interesting. You got to give something, you got to make it seem like you're really into the game. You're really vested. And Phil never gives that vibe off with any game, because everyone knows the only reason why he's playing a game is because it's either free on Game Pass. Someone gave it to him, of course, like this game. Someone gave him this actual game. Or, he thinks it's going to bring him money. So, he milked the podcast. He went extra long. And I think he ended up walking away with about $50-$60 in support. And the boy was sweating. He was sweating. And, it was pretty dead support most of the day. He did hit his goal. I think he ended up maxing out at 152 or something like that. But, of course, it took one of his dents to do a Hail Mary tip. I'm not sure who was the one that saved the day, but it's one of the three. It's one of the three idiots, either Ren, Darkside Pimp, or this Adam dude. This Adam dude apparently came out of nowhere and started supporting Phil. So it's one of those 3 folks. His regulars rarely support. You might get a tip here and there from OIC, but everyone else is gone. Like, he used to get a lot of like small tips, like $5 to $10 tips. That's gone. He's not getting that shit anymore. I mean, he either gets a big tip, or he either gets a big tip, or one of the Kino folks drops a super chat, or they drop a super chat, or they drop a subscription. His tips are like fucking drying up, man. His tips are drying up, and I'm really curious to see how long he can keep this up. Because right now he's oh my god, he's drinking, wheelchair donations. And those KIP subscriptions are really helping him out. The problem here, Phil, is that you ended up having a nice little cushion at the beginning of the month because the kick check came in. I think you ended up getting like $3,500. But what happens when that dries up, Phil? What happens when you're spending that $3,500 like you did this month on WWE Champions and other pointless shit that you don't need, like a PS5? What happens, Phil? You're gonna be fucking stressed because you're not gonna have any tip money in the middle of the month, to continue wasting. So yeah, it should be interesting. I'm waiting for that breakdown where Phil just has a fit that tips are slow, and if you're going to contribute, tips are the preferred method. Even though I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think probably kick, he might get a bigger cut out of the kick. But of course, since he can't wait to the end of the month, he needs that money so that he can spend it on pointless shit. He's probably, we're gonna see a meltdown sooner or later when it comes to tips. Now, you guys know I used to do the weekly analysis show. I haven't done that much again because I've been busy with real life. But I'm bringing that back, folks. So we'll be doing an analysis of Phil's financial support, and that'll include tips, super chats, and probably the Kick memberships. I'm probably gonna include those two because it seems like those are his bulk of his support. YouTube memberships, they're there. I think he probably has between 200 and 300 members, the usual count before all of this popped off. So I'm not sure if I'll include those totals. But yeah, it should be really interesting to see what happens going forward.
We started with Dragon Age Veilguard, and this was my first ever full stream of the game to experience it and see if it was going to be something that people liked and wanted to see me continue to play as an ongoing playthrough. And I'd already played the 1 hour intro back when I did my PS5 Pro testing day back on Friday. So what did I think? Well, I made a special video about it. I actually made about a 7-8 minute video that's just my initial impressions now having played 4 hours of Dragon Age the Veilguard. That video will be going live overnight on the channel. And I'm considering that my highlight video of the day. I'll add it to the stream highlight clips. Even though it's not streamed, it's still like the big highlight. So it's funny because as I'm playing Veilguard today, person after person after person keeps coming in and saying, "Hey Phil, what do you think? Hey Phil, what do you think?" And every time I answer, I'm like, well, here's what I think for now, but it might change. So now, after the 4 hours, you're gonna get my summarized thoughts, okay? I hope you'll give the video a look. Seems like when I've done these videos before, like I just did one about PS5 Pro, and I did ones about other games earlier in the year, people really seem to like these initial impressions videos, so give it a look overnight, okay? So, great first, 4 hours of the game. I will be continuing again on Thursday as the day stream. It will be more Veilguard, okay? Late stream tonight was Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer. Now, again, my intention was that, I hope that we can get these akimbo handguns unlocked because it's always fun to play with them. But again, the game derailed me with these challenges, these daily challenges that I can't do it using the handgun. It's like, I'll get 10 headshots using an assault rifle. And then it's like, get 5 kills while someone is stunned by the electric grenade. And it's all stuff that you can't really do effectively with the handgun. So almost again, the first 45 minutes to hour that I'm playing, I'm trying to get these daily challenges done. Then I got done and I hit prestige, and people were like, well, are you going to prestige? And I'm like, should I? And everyone on stream seemed to be of the impression that I should prestige. So I did. Of course, that unlocks or, relocks pretty much all the content, but you get 1 permanent unlock. So I used it to unlock the GS handgun. I think it's like GS 90 something or something like that. Because that's the handgun I'm trying to get akimbo. Everyone says it's the best handgun in the game. So I used my prestige token to do that, and I continued then for the rest of the night to just use the handgun. Truth be told, when the game didn't screw me with bad matchups, I did incredibly well. Almost every game had a great kill death ratio, top of the leaderboards, just using a handgun going ham. It's pretty fun. But man, handgun is so limited, especially half the maps is like mid to long range stuff, and you cannot win fights in that situation. You got to play like real sneaky, and some matches are just so bad I quit. Because some people are still asking, why do I quit matches? Because it's the same exact matchmaking system they've had for like 5 to 7 years. You'll get 2 good matches, 3 good matches in a row where everything works. Then all of a sudden you'll get into a match, literally nothing works. You aim at an enemy, you shoot them 7 times, nothing. Or you shoot them, they will not go down, but then they just turn and barely hit you and you die instantly. It's done on purpose. They call it skill-based matchmaking. It's not. Essentially what it's doing is it's purposefully nerfing you. So now you feel like there's a challenge to overcome because they apparently think that having you just not be able to play at the real level you're at somehow is advantageous. They did some research and found, if you win a certain amount but then lose a certain amount, it hooks you and you want to keep playing to come back, as opposed to if you're just winning nonstop, then it's boring and people stop playing. I think that's the most stupid thing I've ever heard, especially for a streamer. You want to be performing for your audience. You don't want to be just, I can't have a couple good matches now because they screwed me and put me in a bad match where nothing works, right? Case in point, There's a couple matches there. Literally would unload 4, 5, 6 bullets with the handgun into someone. They would just not go down, and then they'd go blah, and insta kill me. I had one match that made no sense. For the first half, my gun wouldn't kill anyone, and then all of a sudden it just started working again. And then I went on a tear and started destroying the enemy team, and I ended up being like second place on the team. So was it me? Of course it wasn't. It's just a game. So I'm literally one match away from getting a Kimbo handgun. I was this close, but I couldn't stay extra late tonight. I'm like, well, it is what it is. Next time we play, I'll do it. The only sad fact about it for you Call of Duty lovers is that I'm not playing it again until the weekend. I have a booked week, tomorrow. So FYI, so everybody knows, tomorrow I have no day stream, no podcast, and no.
Okay, sorry I let that run a little late. I was chomping at the bit here because he said some of the most stupidest things I've ever heard in my life, Phil. First of all, that's not how skill-based matchmaking works, Phil. And no, Call of Duty doesn't nerf you in the middle of the match because they want to make it challenging. First of all, you were playing with a handgun. An M4 or an AK or an SMG or an LMG is going to beat you every fucking time, Phil. Plus snipers. They're going to get you every fucking time. I don't give a fuck what a Kimbo handgun or whatever you have. It doesn't matter. If someone is perched and sniping at you, they're going to fucking beat you with a one-shot kill. First of all, okay, that's the first thing. Second, you're a fucking idiot. You don't play the fucking maps. You just run and gun every single map, and every single map you can't run and gun. If you're playing Nuketown, perfectly fine. Run and gun, you're gonna die a lot. It's like shit, man. But if you're playing, say, I don't know, Babylon, you can't do that in Babylon. I'm sorry, because Babylon isn't just kind of a 3-lane, just go at it. It's not that way. It's curves. There's places where you can hide. You can perch on the top of the satellite. You're just gonna get fucking slaughtered if you're gonna run and gun, Phil. So you can't play that approach there. So this whole nonsense about skill, you're just full of fucking shit. This goes back to fucking Street Fighter, where Phil cannot do anything wrong. It's the buggy netcode. It's the get the fuck out of here, man. You're so full of fucking shit. Now, I don't really go off when you do Street Fighter because I don't know Street Fighter that much. I don't understand rollback netcode. I know a lot of it is just bullshit because I hear other Street Fighter players talk about rollback netcode and everything you say is just fucking nonsense. So I don't put any weight behind what you say. But I know how to play Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty. It's one of my favorite games. I get into it pretty deep. I play it. I understand the mechanics. I understand the what's it called? The mechanics behind it. I understand how their system to line you up. Yes, if you're a pretty good player, they're probably going to put you in a team with not so good players. If you have a 6-on-6 going on, Phil, they're not just going to put all the best players on one fucking team. That's when that shit happens. You end up with a score of like 100-35, and most people just quit out, and there you go. That's the big problem here, Phil. The big problem isn't skill-based matchmaking. The problem is that when you have one or two good players on one specific team, what ends up happening is you have people quitting. You have people just quitting out. If there's a match that you're playing and you're already down by 20 points, most good players are just going to quit the match. Idiots like you. And that ruins the experience for everyone. Because what happens is that it becomes completely unbalanced. And then you get a wipeout of 100-35. Because all of the good players bounced. And not to say Phil's a good player, but when you do that, you completely throw the balance of the team, Phil. So every time you fucking rage quit from a match, you're fucking up everyone else. But of course you don't give a shit because you're selfish. You're a selfish prick. And all you care about is yourself and making yourself look good. You're not a good fucking player, Phil. I'm not the best Call of Duty player, but I play way better than you. I play strategic. I play to the map. I have 5 different loadouts. Every single one of them are specific to each map. And yeah, I don't go run and gun like an idiot like you do. If you want to run and gun to make it entertaining for your streams, that's okay. Go ahead and do that. Knock yourself the fuck out. But don't sit here and complain and bitch about skill-based matchmaking. You know, bitch about skill-based matchmaking? Scrubs bitch about it. Because there's no need to fucking bitch about it. All right, Phil? Just people like you, fucking just any streamer out here fucking bitching about fucking Call of Duty is pathetic. Don't watch them. Move the fuck on. They're just corny. They're corny and boring, and they just can't play. And what it is just a lot of salt and fucking coke. But Phil, he can't handle people making fun of him or the perception that people are making fun of him. Here's the secret, Phil. Phil, here's the secret. Everyone knows that you're a sucky player. It's okay. Everyone thinks you're a sucky player. So don't get all butthurt. If you're or concerned that people think you're a bad player. People think you're a bad player.
Daytime game stream. That's actually why I made this special video clip about what I thought about Dragon Age Veilguard after 4 hours. Normally I would have done that as a segment on a podcast, but I don't have a podcast tomorrow. Okay? It's for personal reasons. It's nothing bad. It's just I can't be here, all right? But I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific time. It will be Bloodborne on the PS5 Pro continuing. We've beaten the Father G boss. We're going to continue past there. It's when the game actually starts getting a lot better, in my opinion. So I'm excited for that. I hope you'll...
Okay, I'm going to wildly speculate here. I'm going to speculate that Phil has one or two things going on. Like most people think it might be a legal issue, taxes or whatever. No, I don't think that's the case. I think it's a medical issue. Listening and paying attention to Phil. And again, this is all speculation. This is Doody's opinion based on watching many hours of Phil's content. I have a feeling there's something medically wrong going on here, either with Phil or Soulmate. One of them has a medical issue. And based on Phil's appearance and everything that's going on and his dietary, he either has a kidney issue or he has diabetes, one or the other, or the missus might be having some of those issues. Yeah, it could be really bad. And also, let's not forget when we watched Soulmate on stream a couple months back when she was on, she kind of was suffering from what Phil suffers with the bald spots. So I don't know, maybe there's some alopecia going on or something more serious. I don't know. I'm speculating again. But, if you want to know what I think is going on, I think it's some medical issues there. And it's funny that now he's actually relegated to taking 1 day a week off for some reason. That tells me medical treatment. Typically when someone's taking off 1 day a week and they're being, especially when they have a streaming, when they stream like Phil and they have, the set schedule and everything. And recently they just modify it. That tells me there's some medical issues there. Either that, or divorce court. That's not divorce court. Team divorce. There might be a divorce thing going on, and Phil's being forced by Kat to get some therapy. That might be going on too. But anyway, this is all speculation. Anyway, that's it, folks. I'm not gonna watch the rest of it. No one cares. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.